Morning. How's it going, guys?
Morning.
We're here on this EICR today. Let's have a little look at what we got to play with all day. And we got loads of ROM on this one, haven't we, Adam?
Yep, just at first glance.
There it is, right in there, right round the corner. And we've got the old rewirables.
BS 3036.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We've got two 30 amps, so probably rings, 115, 1.6 and 1.5 amp. So two lighting circuits, one possibly immersion heater or combi boiler, two rings. As always, there's no writing on any of this, so first thing we've got to do is verify the circuits, see what we've got. What type of earthing system do we have there, Adam?
That's TNCS.
TNCS. What size fuse?
A little look in there. 100 amp.
100 amp. What size towels?
They look. Are they 16s?
They're 16s, yeah.
About 16.
Can you see a problem with the 16mm towels with 100 amp fuse?
Yeah. It's not large enough cross-sectional area.
What's the cross-section area should we have with a 100 amp fuse?
25mm.
He's learning. He's getting there.
Getting there, mate.
So yeah, the likelihood is it's not going to exceed the maximum cable capacity for a rewirable fuse box, but we'll upgrade them, or we won't upgrade them. We'll recommend an upgrade to 25mm and recommend a consumer unit upgrade to start with. I'm just looking at this. This is a gas pipe above. Can't see any bonding, so we've got the earth just comes from there straight into. I don't know. Let's have a look. Looks. I've got any bonding. Okay. I've just had a look, and we do have bonding. It's on the supplier side rather than the customer's side, so we'll see if we can move that over. Yeah, so you can see, actually, is it? No, it's on customer side, so you've got a bit of a mismatch of wires there, so yeah, that's fine. We'll check continuity as always. Oh God, I can't even get my hand in it. Yeah, looks solid enough. Right, let's get cracking and start verifying some of these circuits. Right, what we've done, we've verified all the circuits. As you can see, they're all there. Only 5 circuits. Not too bad to deal with today. So yeah, shouldn't take too long. Now, next thing we're going to do is get our little pen and paper. We'll go around with the pen and paper, note any observations, and also with the wander lead, and check the continuity of the CPCs at different points around the house. Do it all at once, and yeah, and make sure. And also, it's a functional check. Make sure everything's working beforehand. Last thing you want is to come away and you realise, oh, this light's not working, but you don't know if it was working beforehand.
Yeah, that's not what we want.
Right, so cooker radial, just right cooker, sockets, and go on like little, not too much, little gap yet. Sockets, boiler, lights upstairs, lights downstairs, and that's it. Look at it. Don't know what that does. And we're going to put all the fuses back on and see what circuits we've got. What we're doing, we're going around to sockets, testing continuity with CPCs, dangling extension leads there. That's hidden behind that cupboard. Oh, we got it there. Bang my head. All you do is just put your wander lead into your thing, and we've got a reading of 0.21. We're getting about about 0.2 to 0.25 in all the circuits, all the sockets. So that's good.
Number 11.
Just this one. Yep. Yep. So Adam's counting them up as we're going along.
Number 11 he's done there.
Number 11. And the way I like to work is we go around the property in a clockwise direction. So that's bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bathroom, bedroom 3. So
12. Number 12.
yeah.
Right. There you go, Doc. 13.
Yeah. Shouldn't be anything in the bathroom, but we do have a fuse connection unit in the bathroom, and we have a combi boiler. So what we'll do is you can connect it onto one of the screws under there. Don't know if you can see it, there's a little screw there, so that should be earthed. No, not coming up. Just check that pipe, metal pipe I've got coming down. I don't know if you can see that. No, metal pipe coming down, we're going to check that. Yeah, that's what's the reading? 0.26. Checking the pipes are 0.06. That's bonding, that's a different thing. Okay. No. Checking the pipes. Yeah.
Pipes bonded.
See, if you look on the screw, oh, they are. Sometimes you don't get a reading from the screws. Yeah, okay. You can still get on, yeah?
Yeah. Sockets are on 13.
Cool. Do you keep saying on the
No, it's getting caught, mate.
Right, cool. Yep. That's on that, yeah. You've got a socket essentially down there, but that's running off of that socket. So that, even though it's how many sockets there, they're still counted as 1 point.
It's just an extension.
Yeah. That's it, we're done then.
Cool.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to do lights. And as we're upstairs, we're going to start upstairs.
Checking for continuity.
Yeah, same thing, continuity of lights and functionality. So if you put that on, so you see lights are working. Undo the ceiling rows. And also what we're doing whilst we're doing this is we're trying to find where the end of the radio is. So all we do, again onto your point 0.11. Good. So 4 sockets can put 0.24. 0.24.
Ohms.
Yep. Okay. Checking this one. It looks like it's plastic actually. Yeah, it's class 2. And that looks like a bit of a nightmare to get off, so we'll not test that one. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that, mate. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Where's that?
This is God's room.
God's room. Where are you from, Dean?
London. Right. Okay, then we'll take that one off.
This is light point number 3.
Yeah, and what we do afterwards, we'll leave them off, and then we'll do our R1s and R2s. And actually, you don't need to. You can get away with just an R2. You don't have to do R1, R2. But it's always a good idea to check. I won't bother with that one. It's too difficult. I'll check it at the sealing rows.
In the pull cord.
Yeah, what you can do is you can check at the sealing rows. If you think you can cause damage or the light fitting's quite a tricky one, you can check at the sealing rows or the light switch. It's okay.
0.30.
Yeah, right. Now, Adam, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
You've just seen me
Yep.
checking lights upstairs.
Yep.
Do we need to check light switches? I mean, test the light switch, not check.
No, because you've checked the last point on the circuit, i.e. the ceiling rows or the light fitting.
So you're saying, okay, yeah, I understand what you mean, but we still
For polarity.
no, because you won't be able to check polarity at these because it's feed to pendant. What you need to do, you need to make sure that it has enough in there as well, in case they change it to metal,
Class 1 fitting.
One fitting. So you need to make sure, which could be a bit of a nightmare with these. I hate these things.
Shall I get into him?
Let's see if we've got any without them on. They've all got them on. They've all got them on. Okay, what we'll do is we'll get our blue tack and we'll get them off. Alright, cool. Just checking functionality. Okay, we've got new colours here. Got no CPC. But it's a class 2 fitting, so
I've just chopped
don't need it. Yeah, there'll be a junction box in the ceiling. So yeah, this is old colours. Yeah, 1.14, good. So what we've done there is we've just measured all of the R2s. If you look on the sheet, it says at least one column to be completed. So you can either do your R1 and R2, or you can literally just connect up one lead and go around to each appliance or accessory, that's the word. Go around to each accessory and get a reading that way, which is a lot quicker. So cooker radio, that was 0.04. I know.
ohms. All in ohms.
Sockets
0.24.
0.24.
So we're always going for the highest reading, aren't we?
Yeah, always highest reading. So you go around, you take loads of readings, and you go around it.
Highest score wins.
Yeah, high score wins. Boiler
0.06 ohms.
0.06. Lights upstairs
0.30 ohms.
0.30. Lights downstairs
0.14 ohms.
0.14. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to our circuits. We're going to check the number of points. So that's 1. Sockets ring, how many points?
15.
15. Is that? Oh, that's not that many actually. Boiler 1 point. Lights upstairs
5 points.
5 points.
Should be
Lights downstairs
4 points.
4 points. Yeah, that's quite an easy one, that. Actually, lights downstairs, that's on 3036.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on 3036. This is here. 6 amp now, 6 amps, aren't they? No, that's 5 amp.
Semi-enclosed fuse, or otherwise known as a rewirable.
Yep. Boiler radio, I think that's a 15 amp, not.
Yes, because it's under the
Yeah.
3036 ones, isn't it?
So when you're doing your initial verification or EICRs, there's strict procedure that you need to go by, and it's in your regs book and in your testing inspection book, guidance note 3. Basically what we need to do is not say basically very much, because no, but what you need to do is you start off, you do your continuity, then you go into your installation resistance test, then loop test, which is your ZEZS test,
Quick ZS.
shorts PSC and PFC test, RCD test, which we don't just do here, and then voltage for our, what do we use for voltage? Polarity check.
So just for the other benefit, the other apprentices here, the reason we're not doing RCD is because there's no RCD protection on the board.
Yeah, this is the realities of being an electrician.
Exotic life of the electrician, do sparky life.
Sparky life. Do you love it? I can't get anywhere near. Right.
You in there, mate?
I'm in there now.
That's good.
Right, circuit's off. What we're going to do is we're going to show you safe isolation procedure. Okay, put them on volts. You can see the volts in there, and voltage setting. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go through each of the conductors. We've already discussed with the customer the electric's going to be on and off all day, so you know it's normal procedure on an EICR. So what we'll do, we'll go first thing is to go onto our earth bar and onto our line. We've got 245 volts. Okay.
It's earth to line.
Yeah. But we've got it switched off. But what that's doing is just verifying that the tester works. Okay. Before I've done that, I've checked the tester, make sure it's calibrated and the leads are not worn or broken. It's in good condition. So now we know it's working. Because we've done it on a approved supply, a known supply. One on the earth bar and the other one onto your outgoing side of the switch, which is feeding the loads, correct? Yeah, which is actually buzz bar pretty much. If you look at the tester, you will see again no voltage. See that?
There he is. That's earth to line. So we've proved them.
See, yeah, earth to line. Prove that that's not got any voltage. So you do earth to neutral. Ooh, no voltage. And then neutral to line. Okay. No voltage.
Looks dead, mate.
So is that all we do, Adam?
That is the stages of, so we've proved, we know that there was voltage on the incoming side. We've then proved dead, and we need to check again and reprove that the tester's working on the main supply. Perfect.
So go back onto the neutral and onto the incoming earth. And what voltage do we have?
We have 245.
245. So we know that's working, and there's no power going through to any of these. With these, we're not going to lock them off because we're going to be working here. And also rewirable fuses, you can't really lock them off. What you can do is you can pull them out and put it in your pocket. Pull out your fuse, once your supply's off, put it out and stick that in your pocket. Then nobody is going to, well, if you're working on a property where you've got multi, take them all out. Take them all out, stick them all in your pocket. Then you know nobody is going to energise that circuit. I've got all the breakers there, they go in my pocket. Is it a good idea to leave them just there? No, Adam.
No, because someone could re-energise the circuit then.
Well done, mate. The circuit we're going to work on is the second circuit, which is the ring circuit. We're going to do checking continuity of the conductors.
R1, R2.
R1, R2. What we have to be careful, even though it's a dead circuit, there is still a bit of the circuit in place, which is this bit up here. You can see there's a little hole there, that's still live, and a little bit of copper above that, that's live as well. Move our lines. using our VDE.
And what does that stand for, Dane?
It stands for voltage destruction electrical something or other that I don't even know and I don't really care.
So it's Verband der Elektrotechnik.
There you go.
Look at that. Learned that at college. Well done. Hospital exam question, hopefully.
Never. Never. I'm going to take out our neutrals.
Here he is. Look at that.
And also looking at the size of the conductors here, you can see, looking at them, what are they having?
That's 2.5, mate.
2.5.
What do you reckon, guys? Comment below. 2.5?
2.5. So that's second circuit there, and also second circuit for the CPCs. What do you think about, let me see this, we need to make sure we're putting out the right circuit. It can be hard to verify if it's the right circuit, so you need to just pull these about a bit until you find what one is actually connected to it. This one here, so yeah, it is the second one, so we're good. The second one from the top.
Yeah, get in there, have a look. I know you all like a close-up on YouTube.
Yep.
Here we are.
Okay. Pull them out. What do you reckon? They're going to be twisted or not?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Is this one you done, mate?
Yeah, I did it on these Saturdays.
Yeah.
There's a few JBs up there as well.
Yeah, I guessed. Don't tell anyone. So what we'll do, we'll take the sleeving off, and
oh look, he's twisted.
It's not even twisted.
But he's double sleeved.
How good is that, mate?
Double sleeved.
Right, now what we're going to do, we're going to make sure they're not touching. Need to separate these for completing our figure 8 test, which we'll do afterwards. I'll show you.
Bit of double bagging going on there.
Yeah. So we can see what we've got. Let's get him over there.
Watch those fingers near that one, mate.
Yeah.
The exposed copper. Do you want to use the 5-in-1s?
Yeah. So what we've got one side of the ring on the right hand side and one side of the ring on the left hand side.
That's the exotic life of an electrician.
Now we do end to ends. First on your R1s, which is Adam?
Line.
Line. Is it not live?
Nope.
Yes it is.
We don't call it live though. We call it
yes, we can call it live, Adam.
We call it the line conductor. When it's line and neutral together, we call it live.
Yeah. So what we've got the red conductor here, which is known as, it's got a few different names. It's called the line, it's called the R1, or it's called the live. Okay. It with the old school electricians, they'll call that live.
At college they tell us not to.
Yeah.
They tell us to call it line.
But it is also called live. With the black conductor, that's called neutral, it's called RN, or it's called live. So you get red and black, they're both called live conductors because they carry the live current.
But even at college now they tell us not to call it that.
It depends.
It's just a college thing, isn't it?
No, it depends in what context, because they're still called live. But in the old days, you just call that as live, that'll be neutral, and that'll be your earth.
CPT.
This, the one with the earth sleeving on, we're taking the earth sleeving off, is called CPC. So in the old days they used to call them earths, but it's not. It's just because it's got earth potential in it, and also known as
circuit protective conductor.
Circuit protective conductor. And what number is it?
R2.
R2. Well done.
So why do college tell us not to call it live?
I don't know, but it's called live. Both the conductors together are live conductors.
Yeah, and when you do like a live to neutral on an insulation resistor.
Yeah, that won't be. No, that'll be live to live.
No, because you do like R1, RN, 2 CPC.
Yeah, that's live to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's both conductors too. So what do we think, Adam? Are we going to have an open circuit on this?
No, I'm confident, mate. Feeling good about it.
Do you know what? I don't think we're going to have an open circuit because there's only a few sockets, and there's not been a lot of playing about with it, and the sockets installed are all single sockets, so you know it's not been really modified in much way since it's been installed. So let's go for it. I'd say with you, be the same as you, mate.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident about this one.
So R1 to R1, need to make these notes. R1 to R1. We've got
On the socket circuit.
We've got R1 to R1. We've got. What's that, Adam?
That's some volts, mate.
Well done. That's my
Is that a test?
deliberate mistake.
Is that a test?
Yeah, no,
I
did notice it, and I thought I'm going to see if he notices.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Mate? Are you
doctor,
sure?
doctor, mate. Doctor,
Where
mate.
did you get your PhD from?
0.49. Good. Make a note of that. R1.
Good man.
RN.
This is basically known as the end-to-end test as well, isn't it?
0.49.
RN to R.
Both exactly the same. This is textbook.
This is a textbook EICR.
What should be the reading on the R2?
So,
The R2.
1.67 times because of cross-sectional area.
Yep. So do you want to work it out for me
I
on
will.
camera?
So we've got 0.49, which is our RN and R1 value.
Yep.
So they're the same, and we want to know what the CPC is. So times it by 1.67, all in ohms.
Yeah, cool. And let's see what we come up as. Let me stop. I'm going to make a guess. 0.49. 0.81.
Okay.
That's what I say. Oh, mate, how good is that?
He's good. We are rounding it up to two decimal places.
0.82. So I'll have that.
I'll have that, mate. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. We'll give him that.
82.
Look at that.
Let's see. Not just a pretty face. So we want 0.82. What's the nearest we can have it away from 0.82? There is a figure.
Is it 0.03?
Nope.
Hold on, that's going to be it, mate.
0.05
Oh.
difference. Either way, we can have tolerance. Do you know what that is?
What a tolerance
Yeah.
is?
Do you know why it's got 0.05 tolerance? Away from.
Because it's a calculation.
No, because in the old days the meters could only test in 0.05s. They weren't as accurate as the ones
Okay,
we've
so
got
they
now.
go up in 0.05s. Nice little learn there, mate.
Yeah.
So we're on a R1, so R2 to R2.
A little bit higher. 1.28.
1.28 is the actual.
Yeah.
So why is that?
What do you mean?
Why is it not
Bit higher.
calculated value? Yeah.
Because
0. Point.
there'll be loose connections, things like that.
So that's
1.28. But what we've proved is we've got a good earth connection at all the sockets and back to the consumer unit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do what's known as our figure of 8 test. So what we saw there, we've got R1 and R1 of 0.49, RN to RN of 0.49, R2 is a little bit higher on 1.28. But I've had this before, and if you phone NAPIT, they will say it's within tolerance, if you like, because it's a little bit higher than what we expect, but you've still got earth continuity there, and they're happy. So the second test we're going to do is called a figure of 8 test. And what we do is we do little r1 plus little r2 divided by 4. So that will be
0.49
0.49
plus 1.28.
plus 1.28 divided by 4, which is,
Let me get
Well
there.
done.
So that is 0.49 plus 1.28 divided by 4, 0.44.
0.44. So when we test at each socket, we should be getting a reading of around 0.44 or plus minus 0.05.
Within tolerance.
Yeah. So we're going to go around, test that, and the second test what we're going to do is R1 plus RN divided by 4, 0.49 plus 0.49 divided by 4, and let me have a guess. 0.24.
Bang on, rounded it up to 0.25.
0.25. I'm good, aren't I?
Good. Maths genius, aren't you?
It's not difficult because if you look, half plus half is 1 divided by 4.
Exactly.
You know, giving away my tricks now. So the first test, we're going to do R1, R2. Check the sockets. So what we do, we get our R1 on one side, the right hand side. We join it to our R2 on the opposite side
Of the ring.
Yep, the ring, and get our second lead. And you do the opposite way around. R2 on one side, sorry, R1 on one side to the R2 on the other side.
That's our figure of 8.
And what that does, it creates a figure of 8. Go around and test each socket, see what readings we get. And what figure are we looking for, Adam?
0.44.
So we're plugging them in there. Reading we got 0.62. What were we expecting?
0.44.
Checking the switch, switching off. .59, 58. Leave that out. Remember, before we go around and check sockets, make sure we plug back in everything we need to. 1.53. 1.52. So by switching it on and off, we're verifying that the switch is operating the line conductor. So we're checking polarity as well. This one we haven't got a reading. Okay. R2, there's no reading there. Don't know what that is, that's a bit surprising. Didn't notice that. Right. So we'll check that, because that's come up as no reading. This is why we do the R1, R2 test. You've got your flat head. Checking here, could be reverse polarity or something like that. We need to take off 50% of the accessories anyway, so this is counted as part of the 50. We've got there, there's a spur.
No CPC sleeving.
No, no CPC sleeving, which, you know, we see that all the time. To be honest with you, it's not good, but let's see what is it behind this door.
It's not good, but it's common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice, interesting little plug top there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a CPC sleeving, and obviously it's very nerve coming out of a blank.
Looks like a plumber's been here.
Yeah. You've been in, Adam. It's one of your jobs, is it?
Yeah, when I was a plumber.
Yeah. Last week.
Yeah, did plumbing at the weekends. Moonlighting with a bit of plumbing.
Cannot get this off. Oh, we can. Oh, look what we found. How interesting is that? Let's get a bit of light on it. Look what we found. So we're going to have to delve into that and see why that's not. Yeah.
That is interesting. Kitchen fitter.
Yeah, so I don't know where this plug's going. See a plug there. It's going up. Possibly spun the cupboard lights or something.
Not the cooker, is it?
There's a cable going up there, if you can see, up there. There's a cable going up the top there, if you can see that.
Yeah,
look
that's
at that.
the cable, right?
Don't know what is supplying, possibly the, yeah, I reckon that's powering that, which I'd recommend they put that on a fuse connection unit. That's typical, typical plumbing work, that is, or DIY Dave. I recommend that's put on a fuse connection unit. So if you look here, what we've got, looks like we've got a ring there. That's that spur. This is possibly another spur. You've got ring on top, yeah. If you look at the side, it looks like it's melted a little bit,
doesn't it?
Yeah. That's not great. So what we're trying to do, trying to verify where this socket comes from. I reckon it's powering these two sockets on the side. So let's see. That was working before. R1, R2, that was working. I reckon we've disturbed it enough in here. That was working before. Right. Check the other one. Ah, you see
There
that?
we go.
See that?
Yeah, yeah.
So just put your camera there and watch this. It's going to come on. So you know there's a loose connection. Watch. You listen to the sound. See? Take your finger off. So there's a loose connection in there.
If I hold him over like that. There we go, perfect.
Okay. Now another thing I'm going to do is move that a little bit. I'm going to make it connect, and I'm going to turn off this plug. See if that's powering that. No, it's not. Yeah, that needs looking at. Right, back to the problem that we've got in here. And let's see what this is like. Let's have a look. What we got here. Oh, look. Oh, look.
What's that?
Conductor's just come out. I've just literally gone like that and it's just come out. You can see. Oh, right. I'm going to open this up and show you what it looks like inside.
Do a bit of open heart surgery.
Yeah. Come back to me in a minute. Oh, and look what we found here.
That's one of them Wagos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Wagos of the 80s.
Wago Mark 1. You can see that. If you look on the right hand side,
a bit of milk, a bit of burn.
that is toasty.
Crispy duck. Look at that.
So lucky we caught it in time.
Look at that.
Look at the state of that, mate.
Look at that.
And that's why you have an EICR.
Oh, lovely. Get in there, son.
You have to cut his conductor back. You can't even unscrew it. You got a screwdriver to get in that, Adam.
Right, Dean, so we've just done another successful operation.
Yes, mate. Right, as you saw earlier from our last bit, we had big problems with this. So what I've done is I've continued the rings to pick up this socket, because that was originally a spur from the blank plate in there. So I've continued the ring, so this picks up in the ring, and you've got spurs coming from there, but there's fuse going to one socket over there and two socket over there. And how many sockets can we have coming directly from the ring, Adam?
We can have one additional socket per socket outlet. So, unless it's a fuse connection unit, then after the fuse connection unit you can have unlimited sockets.
Perfect, you got it. So that's what we've done. We've done what Adam just said. Put a fuse on it, then you can have as many sockets coming off it. This is a radial circuit coming from that ring. Goes to there and then to there. And also on the same side, they put the extractor fan. So that's coming from the same circuit, but I'll put that on the fuse side as well. And that's pretty much what the most we can do without ripping it all apart. And I've assessed the length of the cable to be under 3 meters. So now we've done that, we're going to test them on the R1, R2 figure 8 test, see what figure we get out. So that's off, open circuit, 0.48, perfect. Going to plug it in over here on the end of our radial circuit, end of the radial circuit there, R1, R2, open circuit, switch on the fuse, 0.56. Perfect. So that's why it's important to do a proper EICR rather than whiz around, just do your end-to-ends. The end-to-ends were perfect, weren't they, Adam?
Yeah, although we were discussing, weren't we, how the resistance on our 1.6 times, so the CPC was quite high.
Yeah.
Found the problem.
Well, it'd be interesting when we go back to look at the consumer units to see what the resistance is now. It's going to be lower, I'm pretty certain of it. So Adam,
Yes, mate.
what's that on your shirt?
Dr.
Electric. What's that on your back?
Dr.
Electric. Oh mate, that looks good. If only there was something that could top this. What could it be? What's that on your socks, Adam?
Dr.
Electric. Mate. Dr. Electric, they're good, aren't they?
What's that in your pocket, Adam?
Oh, we got. Oh mate, we're all merched up, aren't we?
Merched up, mate.
Oh, look at that. That's good, isn't it?
Look at that. Get some Bundy 10. Dr. 10.
Wicked. What's that on your pants anyway? No, you don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, do we? So we come to the other side and we had the same thing. It was behind a blank plate. The blank plate was there, but given what we found on the opposite side, I thought I want to whip this off and take a look. And we've got the same sort of thing. Connectors.
Mine's out.
You've got got a circuit running through, which could be anything. That's not connected, so you've got a ring here, top and bottom, and then this is a spur coming off. So there's nothing really wrong with that, apart from you've got a separate circuit running through the back of the box. And also, as always, no grommets on the back box.
Sleeving.
Or CPC sleeving.
How dare they?
How
dare they?
Adam,
Yeah.
now you see me do it, you do it on.
Cool, let's do it.
Right, now we've done our R1, R2. Get a look in there, that's the R1, R2 figure of 8 test. We're going to do the R1, RN. So we'll take these off. And we'll do R1 on one side to the RN of the other. There. And on the other side we'll do R1 on that side to the RN on there. We'll go to our socket and then we'll test the other way around. So now we've done R1, R2, we're going to now do R1, RN, just so I was connecting it up. And we're looking for readings of 0.25 as per the equation that we've done just then.
Cool.
So get a tester into a little plug and we put it in from R1 to RN. It doesn't matter what way around you get the tester probes, as long as it's one in R1 and one in RN.
Cool.
And we'll go around to the sockets and have a look. .37.
Lovely.
Just a bit over. 0.35. So it's going down.
Oh, lovely. Look at that.
0.3332. And what reading did we have? We wanted it to
2.5.
a little bit higher, but it's not stupidly high. .43. Again, this one is never. What they do is they leave the plugs inside the sockets, and they never come out. So 0.3736. You know, it's not too bad. We know this is our first socket, and that one's on the ring. These ones are not on the ring. So we'll go to this one first, and we have 0.28. Perfect.
Pretty much textbook, yeah.
And what we're doing there, we're testing the polarity as well by switching the socket on and off. See if it comes on and off. It should come on and off. This one's slightly higher. Why is it slightly higher than that one, Adam?
Spur.
Perfect. You've got two sockets on the spur. This one should be somewhere between 0.28 and 0.3, whatever we just had,
3.8.
0.34. Perfect.
So what that shows us as well is actually that's the first point on the spur and that's the second point. Just
Yep.
slightly increased resistance on the second point.
Yeah. 1.38, good. What we're doing, I know it's not exactly textbook, but if we need a reading of 0.25 and we've got 0.38, it's not stupidly high. It's still okay. If you rang up NAPIT and IC or whatever, they would be happy with that sort of tolerance. So it's not. Sometimes you go to sockets and you can get 1 point whatever ohms, and then you think, maybe that's a little bit too high. But it's not too much different to what we're expecting. I know we've been around to all the sockets. What we've found is all the sockets got very similar readings, so we know it's a good ring and it's not stupidly high. The next test we're going to do is insulation resistance. That'll tell us whether or not we've got good cables, and see if the cables are breaking down or we've got cables touching other cables. Let's see how that goes. Adam? So, no, just behind you. That's your biggest fan.
Yeah,
That's your biggest fan, mate.
it's my biggest fan. Hello.
I wonder if Gaz's fan is bigger than that. So the next test we're going to do, as we said, on the socket circuit is your insulation resistance. I'm going to do this live to earth, mainly because we can't get to every single socket, and there's some sockets with bits plugged in, so we don't want to be damaging anything. We don't want to be damaging any loads or any appliances or anything plugged in. So I'll put my tester onto insulation. I'm going to test it at 250 volts, which is perfectly within regulations if you've got loads connected. I'm going to test it between live, which is line and neutral. If I can get it on. Well, you want a good connection here. So that's on live, and then the other side's going to be to earth. So this measures all the way around one side of the cable, and to make sure it's not touching the other installations. And we have got readings. So 199.9, which is infinity on line to earth. What that does is it tells us that none of the cables within the installation are breaking down, or they're not breaking down to a dangerous level where it could cause a problem. It also tells us that if we wanted to upgrade this board to an RCBO or an RCD board, it's not going to trip that as well. It's perfectly fine to do that. Now we've completed our continuity and insulation resistance test. Next test to complete is a ZE. So what we're doing is checking the earth connection at the board and make sure the first connection to the earth is fine. What we do is we undo our main earthing conductor. What we do is measure our main earth, which is this cable here, and that's going into the side of our neutral block, so it tells us that this is a TNCS system. And what reading are we looking for on this on TNCS for ZE?
0.35 ohms.
Or higher or lower?
Lower.
Lower. Well done.
If it was a TNS system, we'd be looking for 0.8 ohms.
Right, so what we do, one crocodile clip onto our main earth.
There it is.
And then what we do is we put our probe onto our line coming in, incoming line, and then press the button. We have 0.11 for our ZE. That's good. If you want to record that, Adam, make sure as soon as you've done your ZE test, put your earthing conductor, your main earth, straight back, because that provides your earth.
That's
for your whole system.
Safety feature.
Next test we're going to complete is our prospective fault current. We'll move it to PFC on our tester. One probe, our earth probe onto our earth bar, our neutral probe onto our neutral bar. It's not going to be easy because it's
I'm not sure.
Don't have a lot of room here. Just want to make sure we've got a good connection. It's really, there's a problem with these old boards, there's no room. There we go, that's a good connection. And we go along on each probe. What we need to do is energise the circuit, so I'll put that on now. That's live. Connect it to the bottom. This might not fit. Right, we're getting voltage. So now I press the button on our tester. We've got down here 1553 amps. That's prospective short circuit current. Prospective short circuit current is between line and neutral. And now we're going to check prospective earth fault current between line and earth. Press the button again. .1761. So we record the highest reading, which is
1.76.
1.76. Stick that on the test sheet. And we go to the next one. So we go to the next one.
Yep. Same again.
I'm tired. Same again. What we're doing here is we're testing to see what the current will be in a fault condition and make sure that our breakers are capable of withstanding that fault current. On the PFC here, on the second one we've got 1853. Change it over to prospective short circuit current. Test again, 1528. Which is the highest reading?
1.85.
There you go. And PFCs are always measured in kiloamps.
Yep.
So
we do the convert, don't we? Sub
Yeah.
multiples and multiples. We do that and record it on the sheet.
next one, 1385 amps, 1.39.
38. Rounded up to 39.
Yep. .91.
1.91 it is.
Yep.
Scores on the doors. 1.91.
Next one, circuit 4 this is.
Circuit 4. Measuring.
This is prospective earth fault current of 1.82 kiloamps. Prospective short circuit current is 1.48 kiloamps.
1.820 now.
Yeah. Next one, circuit 5, 1.448.
Yep. And
1.77.
taking into account 1.77. That is all of them.
And then no, we need to do the PFC at the board.
PFC at the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, IPF in kiloamps.
What we'll do with these, we'll measure them on the actual circuits. So 2.02 kiloamps and prospective short circuit current of 1.54.
2.02.
2.02 is the
IPF.
PFC at the board.
So that's the IPF KA, isn't it? Yep.
Right, now what we'll do is we'll put all the breakers back and do some of them tests on the actual circuits, because it's okay doing them here, but we'll get different readings on the circuits. Right, now you've seen us doing a ZS at the board. What we want to really do is do a ZS on the actual circuit. So I've got my socket tester and we're going to put them into the sockets, a few sockets as we're going around, just checking the maximum ZS.
And we're just comparing it, aren't
Yeah, so 0.46. Comparing it with the maximum ZS allowed on this circuit, which is, Adam?
we? 0.16.
Is it?
That's what we've... Oh, sorry, no, that was at the board.
Let's have a look.
Max allowed.
Max allowed is 0.83.
So we're within.
And we're on 0.46. There you go.
So we're within. That's the auto calc, isn't it, with the software?
So we'll do a few points around the house. .52.
Within.
Good. couple in the kitchen because we knew that problems on the kitchen getting rid.
Mm-hmm.
0.50. The furthest point 0.62. Yep, still allowable. This socket over here we have problems with, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
0.55.
Lovely.
We'll do a PFC as well. 452 amps, but we've got bigger PFC at the board.
Mm-hmm.
.360 amps, yeah, got bigger PFC at the board, so that's one we record. .368 amps. That was our PFC, and now 489 amps for our PSCC. Do it at the end of this radio again. .409 amps and PFCC. Sorry, PSCC. No, it's not. PEFC.
Yeah. So basically, Dean, what we're checking is this to ensure that it's below our maximum Ka amount.
Yeah, so it can cope with any faults that comes across.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking at our max Ka that we'd already tested for at the board.
Yeah. Another ZE.
So this.
No, yeah, ZS, sorry. .59, good. Oh, need to do a PFC.
So we're basically just checking this within our max
Yeah.
Ka fault current.
Yeah. .413 amps and PSCC 520 amps. That's good. I'm going to plug this fridge in before I forget. Always make sure you plug in the fridges. That is one big thing for customers. Make sure plug in the fridges. Upstairs. Checking the sockets clockwise again. Again, going back to loop test.
For a ZS.
We have, when it's ready, 0.48, which is perfectly within. Can you make a note of that? 0.48. 0.48.
Yeah, I can indeed.
Oh, must be a pen.
You got a pen.
Right. .48 for your ZE. ZS, sorry. PSCC 600 amps and PEFC of, this one takes a little bit longer, 540 amps. As we're going around, we're plugging things back in. 541 amps on the PEFC, 684 amps on your PSCC. .44 on your ZE. ZS, sorry. Again, making sure you're plugging things back in as you're going back round.
Around the system.
.55. On your loop test, your ZS again, 0.67.
0.67, yeah.
That's fine. So you just want to keep the highest reading of your ZS's.
0.67.
0.67 is highest so far. 461 amps for your PSCC.
Still lower than the 600 we got.
Yeah. And 356 amps for your PEFC.
Still lower.
Yep, so you'll find there. Plug everything back in. One more socket to do, and then that's us done with the sockets. ZS 0.68.
That's the highest.
Yep. At 0.53. So 0.68 is the highest reading that we've got on our socket circuit for our ZS. PEFC of 362 amps. PSCC of 476 amps.
Lower.
So that's, yeah, 600 is perfect.
And within our max ZS of, I think it was 0.86.
Yeah. Switching everything back on. Right, so that's that EICR done on a domestic. What do you think about that, Adam?
That's a proper EICR, isn't it?
Yeah.
We do it properly.
What time is it now? It's so half 3 now, and we've still got to go home and write up the report. So as you can see, it takes a complete day, and that, to be honest, that was quite an easy one.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah,
There wasn't that many faults.
5 circuits.
And that took the whole day. Problems that we've got is need the main towels upgrading. Need to look into the regs for that one, because I assessed the maximum demand as under 60 amps, so possibly it's not a big deal. And also the main earthing conductor and the main bonding is undersized. Apart from that, it wasn't that bad really. As we say, yeah, that we did see that we had that problem with that socket, which, you know, it took a while to get that sorted. It was a nightmare, wasn't it? So
that's when stuff started to go sideways, wasn't it? When we started peeling back the layerings and finding all that insulation in your new push switch, as we called it. I think it's yeah, I mean, once you get under the skin and you do it properly, you discover the issues, and the customer said, oh, I'm not really that surprised that there's issues, based on the plumbing work that we've discovered since living in this property. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. As
you see, if you had an EICR complete by an electrician and they come in and done their end-to-ends, they wouldn't have found that fault. No, it's only once you go checking your figure 8 tests and you're finding you've got faults. That could be where you find your faults, doing your figure 8 tests. You're not going to know. Yeah, so
it's like it's peeling it back and actually having a look in there, isn't it?
You're not going to be able to find the fault that we found in under an hour, as these guys who do £100 tests, and that is why we charge a full day's rate, because it takes a full day to do a proper test inside and out. I can go away from that property knowing that it's been safely tested and it's okay for another 5 years. I'm not going to put my name to a cheapy old test in and out. I'm not interested in doing 5 or 6 EICRs a day, making £600 a day. It's not me. I'd rather do, you know, earn half of that and know that I'm doing a good job. Yeah. Unfortunately, not everyone's like that. I think the other key thing that I learned on it today was the fact that this board isn't RCD protected. No. And that, you know, arcing that's just burnt away that connector block in there, that's never going to trip because there's nothing to trip. So it's just waiting for a fire. We'll put up a picture of that connector block. Yeah. And as you see from the earlier video, you'll see it's a bit of a nightmare. So it's one of them, isn't it? You just leave it and eventually it will just get toastier and toastier in them, isn't it? Again, that's another one of them things where, if we talk about pricing of jobs, I have my price and it's there for a reason. I get people that turn me down for work because it's too expensive or whatever. The thing is, that's my price, and that is, I've worked it out to be, that is how much I need to earn so that I can pay my bills, pay my registration, insurances, all that sort of thing. I will show you I'll put up on the screen now a conversation that I had with a customer. You know what, mate? You're putting your hand up. You want to go? You want to go to the toilet?
Yeah, please.
You
Sir,
go to the toilet?
Please, sir.
All right.
Put it up on the screen, Dean, like that.
Right. So this is what I've got. I've got this from a potential customer who says, "I've got your details. Want to know how much you would charge to change 3 lights? Thanks." I said, "Hello. Are they all similar fittings?" "Yep. And they are flush mount lights." "Okay. If they don't need making up, then this should be able to complete it within 1 hour, so it should cost 80 quid. 80 quid for an hour's work. My first hour, 80 quid, that's what I charge." Then she replies back with, "I've been quoted £70 by another electrician, but he cannot do tomorrow. If you can do tomorrow, and for £70, happy to go ahead with you." My reply, "No to £70 and no to tomorrow. Good luck."
It's like
What do these people do? These people think that I'm sitting there waiting for them to call me because I'm so desperate for work? Adam, you will know how busy my phone
ridiculous.
is, just non-stop, as we all are at the moment. We've got EICRs coming out of our ears and remedial work we've got to get done before April, and it's just gone crazy. The work is so busy.
Loads of it. And I think the thing is, I mean, we were saying, you don't go into Tesco's and go, this loaf of bread is 50p. Oh, but I found another one in another supermarket and it's only 30p. But I'll buy your one if I can buy it today for 30p. I mean, just
Yeah.
like.
I was waiting for that person to get back to me and say, I was absolutely convinced she'll get back to me saying, "I can't find anyone. Okay, can you do it for £80? Yeah, I'll do it." And I'll say, "No, it'll be £90. And she would have come back and said, "Oh, but you said it was £80. But hold up, it's okay for you to say no, what about 70? But it's not okay for me to say no, what about 90? Surely the same thing."
Yeah. It's not right.
I'm not going to be chasing people for £10 extra. I'm not going to lose any sleep. She can go somewhere else. She's not my valued customer.
Dave will do it for 40.
Yeah, my valued customer will pay what I'm due, and I charge, you know, a good price for a good job. So that's us for today. Next job we've got is another EICR on Saturday, which we've got a
Commercial one.
Another commercial one. It's a dentist this time. See what we can get. It'll be empty, so we should be able to get some good footage
You'll
in
be
there.
in the dentist chair, won't you, mate?
No, we can't play around in the dentist chair, Adam, and you can't bring your special nurse's outfit, Adam, because
ruining my Saturday.
because we can't, because of COVID and that, you can't be messing about with these places. So we're going to go, even though it's going to be empty, we're going to still take precautions. We're going to still be masked up, gloved up, and everything like that. What have we learnt today, Adam?
What have we learned? That when you're in a domestic setting like that, it makes so much more sense to do the R test instead of the R1 plus R2.
So what you're saying is, rather than do R1 plus R2, just do the R2 test.
Absolutely.
Run around with the R2 lead and you're poking it into your different accessories, getting your R2 tests, and you can bang that out in no time at all. Quite easy.
And you can get more coverage of everything as well.
Yeah.
Test it out at every single point. Why
Every
wouldn't you wanna
single,
do
yeah.
that?
Well, you would do that anyway, yeah. But what are my recommendations for that place? Upgrade the towers, upgrade the bonding, the main conductor, and upgrade the consumer unit. And that'd be pretty much it.
Definitely new consumer unit. 100%. So what have we got left to say, Dean?
Like,
Comment,
share,
prescribe.
prescribe.